As we all know, today is the day. We will announce 3 winners of my holiday giveaway at the end of the show. So be sure to stick around because you do not want to miss this. There's now been a series of so-called Twitter files dumps about which the FBI has finally issued a statement.
We are getting our first response from the FBI to the Twitter file dumps. The statement reads, the correspondence between the FBI and Twitter show nothing more than examples of our traditional, long-standing and ongoing federal government and private sector engagements, which involve numerous companies over multiple sectors and industries. As evidenced in the correspondence, the FBI provides critical information to the private sector in an effort to allow them to protect themselves and their customers. The men and women of the FBI work every day to protect the American public. It is unfortunate that conspiracy theorists and others are feeding the American public misinformation with the sole purpose of attempting to discredit the agency.
Conspiracy theorists? The FBI Twitter files reveal Twitter executives colluding with the government to suppress conservatives and conservative content. It discloses the behind-the-scenes discussion on banning President Trump, with at least some Twitter executives admitting that Trump did not violate their moral code, and at least one executive even going so far as to say Trump did not say anything that amounted to a call for insurrection. And it reveals that a respected epidemiologist like Stanford's Jay Bhattacharya, who co-signed the Great Barrington Declaration that said lockdowns are a bad idea, was being bottle-capped and or deplatformed for expressing skepticism, a skepticism we now know to have been well-founded. How much unnecessary human and economic suffering have we endured because of the suppression of the debate over vaccine mandates, mask mandates, and lockdowns? Joining me to discuss this is Jeff Carlson, co-host of the Epoch Times show Truth Over News. Carlson says there is a big issue with Twitter files that a lot of people are overlooking. Jeff, tell us how people are bearing the big lead here.
Well, hey, Larry, thank you for having me on. And, first of all, going back to that FBI statement, how laughable is that? First of all, they present no evidence and they take both sides of the equation. On the one hand, it's a conspiracy theory. And on the other hand, they say by their own words, it's what they do day to day. It's a ridiculous statement backed up by nothing other than the evidence that we've had from these Twitter dumps. And before we jump into the latest Twitter files, I guess I just have one thought. We're getting all this information out of Twitter and what the FBI did with Twitter. Now, just imagine what they did with Facebook. Right. And far more importantly, what did they do with Google? Google is the interface for everybody's everyday activities. Twitter is the interface for us political types. I hope that something will be forthcoming down the road on that. And I have a feeling it's going to be a whole lot worse than Twitter.
Jeff, I agree with you. Before you tell us the big bombshell thing that people aren't talking about, you look at the people that are hired by Twitter, by IG, by Facebook, by Google, by YouTube. Nobody seems to have a problem. They must have hired tens of thousands of people over the years. Nobody seems to have a problem with this. Whatever's going on at Twitter is going on at these other social platforms in spades, pardon the expression. And nobody seems to have quit in a huff. Nobody wrote a book. Nobody went to the FBI. Nobody seems to have a problem, which shows you, Jeff, in my opinion, they're hiring based on ideology. They probably check your social media footprint when you put an application in. And if you've done anything, tweeted anything, said anything that suggests you might not be anything other than a hard lefty, you're not going to get hired.
Well, let's step back to Obama's DOJ. I think that was where a lot of the genesis of this was. If you look at the hiring practices that Obama put in place with the DOJ, it was effectively 100% lefty ideologues. And that's unprecedented and that's illegal. You're not supposed to be able to hire based on ideology. And yet that's what Obama did. And that's translated down through the pipe into San Francisco and into all these big tech companies.
Right. And look at their political contributions. 99% of the political contributions that Twitter made went to the Democrats. And virtually all these other platforms is almost 99, 98, 97, 96%. When they make a political donation, goes to the left. Again, shows you the kinds of people that they are hiring. And you just can't hire people like that by chance. It's got to be a design. It's got to be a focus on people who are left-wing. Otherwise, you can't get that kind of unanimity in terms of how much money they give to the left.
And the same thing extends to what I call the corporate media. You know, back in the day, it used to be that they would have on guests and they would say, this is so-and-so from the intelligence community. That's now changed entirely.
Right.
You know, the corporate media is comprised of the intelligence community. They're no longer even hiding it. They're just literally on the payroll. They're day-to-day guests. They're, you know, part of the establishment. And that's a big sea change, which is very unfortunate in my opinion.
Well. What does he have in his baby brown libertarian fingers? He's got a pair of MyPillow My Slippers right here. And if you don't like this color, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't, they have different colors. If you don't like this style, and again, I can't imagine why you wouldn't, they've got different styles. Just call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com and make sure you use promo code ELDER. Here is a, guess what this is? That's right, a MyPillow. They also come in different sizes. By the way, there are over 100 products, sleeping products on the website. MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER, or call the number on your screen. And this here, guess what? A 6-pack, towels, face cloth, hand towels, different colors. Mine, of course, is white because I'm the black face of white supremacy. Call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com, promo code ELDER. Finally, we have the Giza Dream bed sheets made from cotton in an area of Egypt called Giza. Finest cotton in the world. And again, different colors, different sizes because beds come in different sizes. And don't forget all the products they have on their website. MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER, or call the number on your screen. You know, Jeff, I used to be on CNN on a pretty regular basis. I used to be on MSNBC on a pretty regular basis. I was on the Don Lemon Show a few times. All that stopped, I want to say about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They literally stopped asking me, and you rarely see any kind of feisty counterpoint from a conservative on any of those other networks. But Jeff, tell us what a lot of people aren't connecting regarding the Twitter file dumps.
Yeah, I think one of the most important aspects is Michael Schellenberger, who's what I view as what used to be a centrist Democrat. Right. Is part of this Twitter files dump and has done a great job with it. And what he divulged was this war game scenario that was planning that was going on by the Dems in September of 2020. Now, as soon as I read that struck an immediate chord because I'd written a paper a long time ago, and it was about somebody named Foley, who he was a Democratic strategist, and he's the originator, James Foley, he's the originator of the blue shift theory. And the blue shift theory basically says that Republicans are going to lead on election day, and in the days that follow election day, that lead is going to slip and Dems are going to rise up as mail-in ballots come in. So, okay, as a backdrop, James Foley is the originator of the blue shift theory. What he did was he did a war game analysis of the 2020 election, and he did it in December 2019. So 11 months and change before the actual election. And he was incredibly prescient. He predicted everything down to the wire exactly as it was going to happen. Shockingly so. Now, what seems apparent from these latest Twitter releases is that Dems very much took his warnings to heart. And they began a second series of war game analysis. And this began in June 2020. And they did a second series in August 2020. And then they had a third kind of tip of the spear analysis in September 2020, which was focused entirely on the potential leak of the Hunter Biden laptop. And what's really interesting about this whole process is Foley was right in December 2019, but he was only right with the benefit of hindsight. If the DNC had done nothing, if they had ignored his predictions, and they hadn't made unconstitutional changes to state election laws in key states, if they hadn't done an unprecedented number of mail-in ballots, if they hadn't done all of these things, Foley's prediction never would have come true. The election wouldn't have been close.
Right.
So when I saw this Twitter release, it was really shocking, and it threw me back again to an article that I wrote, a long time ago.
Jeff, think about what would have happened had Elon Musk not purchased Twitter. We never would have known about all of this stuff. All of us suspected it. Before Elon Musk bought Twitter, Jeff, I might have averaged 3,000 new Twitter followers a week. Ever since he took over Twitter, I'm getting that number a day. And the first time he announced he was going to buy Twitter, before the sale was consummated, I got 10,000 new Twitter followers in one day. And then when he backed out and said he didn't want to buy it and was going to take him to court, little by little, the increase in new Twitter followers, for me anyway, began to decrease. And then when he made the announcement, back up again. And I'm not the only one. Several people have said this. As I said in my little monologue before you came on, Jeff, think about what Twitter has exposed regarding the suppression of dissent about COVID lockdowns, vaccine mandates, mask mandates. How many more people would be alive? How many more businesses would still be in operation? How many fewer people would have been thrown into poverty had people like Jay Bhattacharya been listened to, or at least had the option of people listening to what he was saying?
Exactly. And, we've been maintaining from day one that Twitter's takeover, or Elon's takeover of Twitter, it's hard to really appreciate the magnitude of it. And just think about what he did yesterday. Here we have this $1.9 trillion omnibus spending bill, right, that's going out there. And Elon goes out and puts the whole thing to a vote. And I believe the tally, as I see it now, that it shouldn't pass is somewhere around 72% say that this bill shouldn't pass.
Right.
This is the kind of thing, like, we've been screaming into the ether about government spending forever, you and I both.
Right.
Suddenly, Elon is bringing this to the masses. People are seeing this. And he's calling out senators by name. They cannot escape this. I really believe that it is hard to overstate the effect of what he's doing and what he's bringing to our country.
Last thing, Jeff, Elon Musk says he'll step down as CEO of Twitter if he can find somebody, quote, stupid enough to take the job. So I've been thinking outside the box, as I try and do. I got a candidate, Colin Kaepernick. He's unemployed, he believes in free speech, and he's stupid.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Elon is going nowhere. That was a exercise in calling out the bots.
Absolutely. Jeff Carlson, as always, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is now time to reveal our holiday winners. We have 3 of them. The first one is James Smith. Who's named James Smith? Isn't that like an alias? Anyway, Mr. Smith, you have won. Congratulations. Enjoy your gift. And the second winner of our holiday giveaway is Lydia Jones. Lydia Jones, congratulations. Merry Christmas and enjoy your gift. And the third winner of our holiday giveaway is Maria Cronin. Maria Cronin, congratulations. You are a winner. Maria, have you ever won anything before? Well, you have now. So I want to thank all of you who participated in our holiday giveaway, and congratulations, and stay tuned. We'll have more giveaways down the road.